Hello there, you probably don't know who I am, but today we are going to be learning how to use openwebui to run our own AI models from our own computer. So this means that we're going to be, going through what to do, how to do it, and really what are the benefits of running your own AI model on your own computer instead of just searching up an AI chatbot. If someone like me as a high schooler can do it, then I'm pretty sure you can do it as well, since it's really not that hard. It's much easier than you think it is. It's really simple, actually. Like, I generally think you can get this done in less than 30 minutes if you follow this video from start to finish. So let's get started. So the very first thing I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be downloading an application called Docker. What Docker is that it's basically an app that we will be using to help run our openwebui system. So I'm going to go into the website and I'm going to be downloading Docker for desktop. Because I'm using a Mac with Apple Silicon right now, I'm going to be downloading it for that. So now we have Docker here, which is up and running. And the first thing we immediately notice is that we don't have any containers. So the container is basically an application that will be running through the use of Docker. And that means that we need to go get our own containers online. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. In order for us to get our container for Docker, we are going to go on the openwebui website where we're going to be finding a command that we will be utilizing. So we need to go on this site, go just down to here, copy and paste this, and we just need to run this on our terminal. So if you are a Windows user, you just need to run this on your command and you'll be fine. So I'm just going to copy and paste this on here, and yeah, that's it for me. So if you're a first timer that's doing this is going to take a bit of time for everything to download and everything, because you're like setting everything up for the very first time. I already did this before, so that's why for me it happened so quickly. The first time I tried this, it took me like 10 minutes for the step to be done. So don't worry if it takes a bit of time, because it definitely will. Now that we've downloaded our container, we can now go to Docker and we can see that this container now shows up on here. What we can now do is that we can go here to ports and we can just click this link and openwebui automatically pops up. So now you just need to sign in to openwebui. If you're a first timer, just create an account and you'll be fine. Okay, so we've just logged into openwebui here, and this is basically what our homepage is. However, we still can't really do anything here because we don't have an AI model that we can actually run on here. So if we go to select the model here, we can see that we don't have any models. This means that our next step is to add the models onto openwebui. However, the first thing we need to do before that is we need to download another application called Ollama. What Ollama is that it's kind of that missing link between our openwebui container and the AI models. It's kind of that thing that binds both of these two together, because without Ollama, we really would not be able to run our AI systems. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to download Ollama, because as again, I'm using a MacBook, so I will be downloading the macOS version of Ollama. If you're a Windows user, you download the Windows version. After we've finished with downloading Ollama, we can now look at the different kinds of models that we can implement for openwebui. So when you look on here, you will see that there are a ton of different AI models that we can use. But we're going to start with DeepSeek, since it's a very new thing and it's been quite popular lately. If you have been living under a rock or you don't really listen to the news, then you probably haven't heard of DeepSeek, but for most of us, we pretty much know of it by now. So let's click on here, and we can see from here that there are a lot of different variations of this AI model. We're going to go with the 7B variation because this one has a suitable size of 4.7 gigabytes. After we've found the AI model that we plan to use, our next step is now to what they call pull this model. What this means is that we're going to be copying this part of the text and we're going to paste this all the way in the admin panel, then settings, connections, and to manage in Llama API. So we just need to click this. We just need to enter the model tag, which was the thing that we just clicked, and just download it. So now that we've downloaded the AI model that we want to use, when we go back to our main page here, we can immediately see that we now have an AI model we can use. And this is the AI model that we chose, which was DeepSeek. So this is good. When we first start out with our AI model, we can see here on our right that there is a function called call. What this will do is that it's going to take our speech input, turn it into a prompt, and create an answer based on that prompt. What's also cool with the call function is that it can speak this answer directly through us, through text to speech. And that's really cool. But first, what we're going to do is that we're going to see what DeepSeek can do as an AI model. So how can I help you today? Well, let's see, what do we want to do? Do we want to get ideas? Or let's see, maybe let's find some fun facts about the Roman Empire. So DeepSeek is going to take our prompt and it's going to be thinking of an answer to come up with. The one thing that you can immediately notice with DeepSeek is that it's a bit slower than other AI models such as, Llama or OpenAI. And a reason why for that is because the thing with DeepSeek is that it has this function called thinking, where it takes your prompt and it will think deeply about what it wants. And I think that's really interesting, actually, where you get to actually take a look into the AI model and you can kind of see what its reasoning and what its logic is and how it all works together to give us an answer. And I think that's really cool, where you get to take a deeper look into AI itself. Since we've gotten our AI chatbot completely set up now, we can start playing with it. Below, we can see that there are some suggested prompts that we can give to the AI model. There's overcome procrastination, grammar check, show me a code snippet. Let's start with overcome procrastination. So, how are some ways we can overcome procrastination? So, the one interesting thing with DeepSeek that makes it stand out amongst the other AI models right now is that it has this thinking function where if you expand it, you can clearly see how DeepSeek thinks when it's trying to provide an answer to a prompt. So from here, you can clearly see that DeepSeek is thinking deeply and logically to deliver an answer that's accurate, but that's also effective in answering our question. And I think that's really cool because with this sort of approach, you really get to see how DeepSeek works and how AI kind of reasons with you. And I think that's really, really interesting. So this is what our answer to the prompt is. So just typical things, understanding procrastination, how you can break down tasks, motivation strategies, all of those things, which are great. It's a thing with DeepSeek is that it might be a little bit slower when compared to other AI models like Llama, but you really do get to see all of this thinking process though. So I think that's sort of a worthy trade-off. Another really cool way we can interact with the AI models on openwebui is through the call function, which is down below here. What this basically does is that it's going to take our speech input and turn this into a prompt. Then it's going to create an answer, and it's going to speak this answer to us out loud as if it's a text-to-speech sort of function. So that's really cool, and we're going to demonstrate I'm going to demonstrate an example with that. Tell me 5 interesting facts about the Roman Empire. So now it's thinking of some interesting facts about the Roman Empire, and we're going to see what it gives us. So we're just going to be waiting, and let's see. Okay. Again, you can see that DeepSeek is thinking really deeply about this prompt, and you can see how it's coming up with the answer. One thing I really like.
Here are 5 well-researched and accurate facts about the Roman Empire. 1. Invention of concrete. The Romans are credited with perfecting concrete around 40 BCE, which revolutionized construction techniques, enabling the building of roads, aqueducts, and monumental structures that set a precedent.
So, one thing I think I really like about DeepSeek is that when you look through this thinking process, you can see that it doesn't really think like an AI. It's more human. It's like, all right, okay, where do I start? Maybe this, maybe that. That's kind of cool because we're so used to seeing AI as a sort of machine, and for DeepSeek to be thinking as if it's an actual like human, as if you were asked this question and you had to think about it. I think that's kind of cool, and that is something that I think is really worth talking about. Now, you can obviously use different kinds of AI models that aren't DeepSeek. All you need to do is just go back to Olama here, click on models, and just find whatever AI model you want. You could do Llama 3.3 or whatever any of this stuff is. But we just used DeepSeek because it's quite popular right now, and just as a reference point. So at this point, you might be wondering as to why you should be running your own AI model from your own computer instead of just searching up an AI chatbot on Google. The reason why you would want to run an AI model on your own computer ideally is because you don't need to use Wi-Fi in order to have this whole thing running. So all you need to do is just deploy it on your computer, and you can just start chatting and interacting with it. Because if you were to use an online AI chatbot like ChatGPT, you would need an internet connection for that because it's web-based. Another great thing with running your own AI chatbot on your own computer is that because everything is done on your own terms, you basically don't really have any sort of like whatever privacy concerns or whatever they have nowadays. So if you're one of those people, then this kind of thing is for you. So that's also a really good thing too. So not only does this not require a Wi-Fi connection, but also there's not really much of a privacy concern that comes with doing this. And also, it's kind of fun, and you get to learn a lot of cool things along the way too. And you get to brag to everyone. You can be like, "Oh, look at me! Look at this! Look, this is my AI model that I made completely by myself." And you can just go tell everyone and all of that, and everyone can think you're so cool and all of those things. So yeah, so I think right now, since DeepSeek is such a very recent thing, it's only been like a few days since it came out. I think there's going to be a lot of more different changes to AI. I think, especially compared to last year, because even compared to last year, there are a lot of big changes that are happening around AI. Like, I remember taking a look at other different sorts of AI, and now we've come to this. I think that's really cool. So, I think it's really just going to be interesting to see how, things play out sooner or later. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I really hope this video suits you well, and I hope you learned something from this video, and I hope you found it fun to do all of this. So, thanks a lot.